welcome back to another This Week in WWE with TheJaseDawg. That's right, so it's episode 26. That's right, guys. We are on a roll. The channel, it's picking up in views and subscribers. So thumbs up to all my dog squad out there. We're doing it good. So guys, if you actually haven't seen what happened this week in WWE and you don't want to hear it from me first, make sure to head on over to the WWE Network right now and check it out right now, guys. Now, there's your warning. Let's get right into it, guys. So, we started with Raw. Now, with Raw we had pretty much the whole, Steph and Shane came out, and they came out and, because they're both commissioner, Steph's commissioner of Raw and Shane's commissioner of SmackDown, they have to choose a GM for the brands. Now, Steph friend chose hers first, and we have, bang bang, Mick Foley is the general manager of Raw. And then, of course, I kind of had a feeling of who the general manager of SmackDown was going to be. That's right, it is yes, Daniel Bryan. So there is the two GMs of the brands. And on SmackDown, which is in this episode, now the layout of how I do it is normally I go Raw, NXT, and then SmackDown. Well now, because of SmackDown going live on Tuesdays, which in Australia is Wednesday, it is now Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and then if main event and superstars have anything interesting, they'll be at the bottom as well. So I will do the televised draft picks are in this episode, guys. So stay tuned for that, and also a couple of the picks that I thought should be mentioned are going to be in this episode as well, guys. Now let's get back into it. So pretty much we started with, after we found out who the GMs were, we had Owens and Chris Jericho versus Zayn and Cesaro in tag action. Now, Zayn got the mad win against Chris, which was kind of a roll-up. I don't think Chris really realized that he actually got pinned, and he was pretty pissed off, but it was pretty cool because we actually, got to see this mad type of tag match, and also, not really knowing half of these people could be on different brands after SmackDown. And then we ended up having Darren Young versus Del Rio. That's right, guys. So Darren Young's getting a bit more of a push. He's getting the "we're gonna make Darren Young great again," as Bob Backlund would say. He's getting that bit of a push, and we already know he's versing Miz for the Intercontinental Championship at Battleground. Now Miz was there at ringside, of course, watching. Darren Young got a mad win. He actually won. Was it Del Rio? Yeah, it was Del Rio. He actually won with Bob Backlund's finishing move, the cross-face chicken wing, and it was fucking awesome. He actually got a mad win. Wait, no, he didn't win that way. That's right, he won on SmackDown, but I didn't include that. He won with that on SmackDown in a tag match, but he won by roll-up, I think it was, on Raw. So he did win against Del Rio, but it was a roll-up. Because Miz tried to kind of cause an interference, but it backfired, of course. Heading into the next thing, we had the Club and the Wyatts versing the New Day, John Cena, Enzo, and Cass in a, I guess you could say, 12-man match, I guess. So pretty much New Day and Wyatts weren't going to stick around. We all knew that. They all ran off, beating the shit out of each other, so it was just Club versus Cena and Enzo and Cass. Now, what I don't get here is Cena got taken out by Enzo. You would think it would be the other way around because Enzo went for a clothesline and I think it was AJ ducked it and he hit Cena. Now, someone like Enzo laying out Cena, and Cena was out for the count pretty much after a clothesline, and then Enzo got hit with a phenomenal he got hit with the Styles Clash and AJ got the win. Now, I don't get how Cena would have got taken out by a small clothesline. Like, it would have been better to have it the other way around, but oh well, my opinion versus theirs. Me versus the world. Then we had Steph's mad promo where it was similar to the Shield. He come down the ramps, but it was before Raw, empty crowd arena. It was pretty much ripping on Roman and Dean about, how he had the Shield and he could have destroyed it at any time, and he pretty much controlled them, which he did. And then Dean also had a promo similar to how they used to, where they picked up the camera in the backstage dark room. It was pretty mad, Shield memories. Used to love that fucking shit. Then we had Sasha and Becky Lynch versus Dana and Charlotte. Yes, Charlotte. And this match ended in DQ because Natalya ended up getting involved and attacking Becky. And then after the match got called and it was DQ, Sasha went to help Becky and Charlotte laid out her and then pretty much took her out with a big boot and then natural selection. So it wasn't looking too good for Sasha, and we still do not know who her mystery partner is for the tag team match at Battleground. And then we had, in the main event, we had Seth vs Dean for the WWE Championship. And it was a pretty good match. It was back and forth, it was mad moves, there was dirty deeds, there was fucking pedigrees, there was clotheslines, there was mad fucking knees off the top rope. It was insane. And somehow it ended in a double pin, and they didn't know who the champ was after the match. They didn't know who won the match. Steph, of course, said that Seth won the match. Yeah, Steph was saying Seth won, and Seth walked off with the title, but no one really knew what happened. And of course, later on SmackDown, they ended up having another match which Dean actually won that match and retained his title. So going into Battlegrounds, I guess Dean's champ? Don't know. Now we are into SmackDown, and of course I didn't include any matches in this because I just wanted to be based on the drafts that were televised, and I pretty much, like I said, Dean and Seth had a rematch and Dean ended up winning. Sasha had a 2 versus 1 handicap match and she ended up losing because the numbers game. But yeah, pretty much those were the two main matches I would have included, but let's get into it. So, 6 people from NXT could be chosen to join the brands. Now Raw gets one, they start the picks, Raw does, Steph and Mick Foley, and then for every 2 picks that SmackDown does, Raw gets a third. So pretty much you go Raw, SmackDown, Raw, and then they'd go to a match and then they'd come back. And there was a bunch of different things. So, of course, we started with SmackDown. Steph said that her number 1 pick, so Raw's number 1 pick is Seth Rollins. Now that is best for business. That is awesome that Seth got the number 1 pick. And in SmackDown, I already knew that they'd go with Dean. Dean was their number 1 pick, so you can tell that they're building their brands around Seth and Dean pretty much. Now, second pick for Raw was Charlotte. So now they have the Women's Championship on Raw and the WWE Championship on SmackDown. Then we head to SmackDown. They chose AJ Styles. So that's their second pick. And then back to Raw, we had them choose Roman Reigns. No, not Roman Reigns, Finn Balor. They chose Finn Balor. And then we had, a match, and then it came back. Raw chose again. They chose Roman Reigns then. That's why I had it mixed around. They chose Roman Reigns, followed by SmackDown choosing the faggot, John Cena. And then back to Raw, where they chose Brock Lesnar. And that was a fucking good pick. So the top 5 for Raw is pretty damn good. I don't really like Charlotte in there, but I would have put, in my opinion, I would have went Seth, Sasha Banks, AJ Styles, Finn, and then Brock. That's how I would have chose my top 5 if I was in charge of the brand. But, let me know in the comments below who you would have chosen as your top 5 if you were either SmackDown or Raw guys. I would have been SmackDown. If I had to choose which brand I would have been in charge of, I would have been SmackDown. Like I said, I would have went Seth, Sasha, AJ Styles, Finn, Brock. Those would have been my top 5. But let's get back into it. So we just chose Lesnar for Raw. Then we had SmackDown choose Randy Orton, followed by, they chose Randy, followed by Raw choosing the New Day, all 3 members of the New Day. And of course, tag teams can be split in this if one person from the team gets chosen, which AJ from the club got chosen onto SmackDown. So does that mean the club split? We don't know. So they chose New Day, followed by SmackDown choosing Bray Wyatt, but not the Wyatt family, just Bray. So we don't know about them yet. Followed by Raw choosing Sami Zayn. Then we had Becky Lynch to SmackDown. Then we had Sasha Banks to Raw, followed by Miz and Maurice to Miz and Maurice. So Miz and Maurice both to SmackDown. So SmackDown now has the WWE Championship and Intercontinental, and also Raw chose Rusev, and Lana as well. So Rusev and Lana as a couple. So they have the US. So Raw now has the Tag Team Championships, the Women's Championship, and the US Championship. And SmackDown has Intercontinental and WWE. So those are where all the championships go. Then we go back to Chris Jericho got chose to go to Raw. We had Baron Corbin for SmackDown, Owens for Raw, followed by American Alpha, chosen from NXT as a pick. Both members, Chad Gable and Jason Jordan, both to SmackDown as well. Followed by Enzo and Cass to Raw then. Then we had, which was funny because Shane was pretty pissed off because he ripped the paper up because he wanted them. Then we had, after that, Dolph Ziggler to SmackDown, followed by Carl and Luke. So the club, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, both as a team to Raw. Then we had Natalya to SmackDown, Big Show to Raw, Del Rio to SmackDown, Nia Jax to Raw, Neville to Raw, Cesaro to Raw, and Sheamus to Raw. And I'm pretty sure that was all the televised picks. Pretty much SmackDown didn't really choose too many tag teams. They only really had American Alpha. And Divas wise, they also had Natalya as well. I'm pretty sure I said her. But they had Natalya and Becky for Divas wise and one NXT, whereas Raw chose Finn and Nia Jax, but they also had Charlotte and Sasha as well. And those were all the televised picks for SmackDown Live. There are other matches, there are other draft picks which were on the WWE Network, which after this I'll be heading over to check, guys. So make sure you definitely go and check if you want to find out who else is over there, if any of your favourites go to any of these brands. So yeah, that's on the WWE Network televised type of draft picks that aren't on the actual show. Now that that's happened, we head to NXT because it's on Thursday for us in Australia, so it's after SmackDown now. We had Rhino versus Joe. Joe ended up winning by making Rhino tap, but it was a pretty good match. Rhino showed, his dominance, but still lost. Made Joe look even stronger. Then we had American Alpha versus the Authors of Pain. Authors of Pain attacked them before, and of course, guys, we all know that NXT is a little bit pre-recorded, like a couple of weeks in advance. So that's why American Alpha and a couple others are still there. But they got attacked before the match by Authors of Pain, but they still went away and still had the match, and they still lost anyway. Gable ended up losing the match. They got destroyed pretty much towards the end. And then we did find out the other 3 picks. So of course the NXT draft picks we found out were Finn, Nia Jax, and American Alpha, all chosen. And we found out that also Mojo Rawley to SmackDown, Carmella to SmackDown, and Alexa Bliss to SmackDown as well. So those are the 6 picks, and tag teams do count as one, apparently. So then we had Aries versus Patrick Clark, as you all know him from Tough Enough, who he didn't really last long in Tough Enough, but I wouldn't say it was his debut because he's a jobber, and he ended up losing anyway, tapped to the last chancery, and No Way Jose and Aries ended up having a bit of a brawl after, and Aries got away. And then in the main event we had Bayley versus Nia Jax. Pretty much winner would get the first Oscar, and Bayley ended up winning with a mad belly to Bayley type of move off her finishing belly to Bayley off the top rope. 1, 2, 3. Now it makes sense for Bayley to get a chance because maybe she'll become 2-time champ. We don't know. So guys, that is what happened this week in WWE. Hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure to hit that like button hard, guys. But not too fucking hard. Don't break your computers, guys. Prediction video for Battlegrounds will be coming up very soon, so stay tuned for that and make sure you definitely check it out, guys. And if you want to join the Dog Squad, make sure to hit the subscribe button and spread the word of the TheJaseDawg to everybody you know. And if you want to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, the links are in the description down below. And as always guys, stay awesome. The JaseDawg is out of here.